what I'm gathering in my walk as a Christian when it comes to faith, or even like, hey, what is it that God is capable of doing in my life? There is a crossroads, right? You have to intersect with, right? You gotta meet God in the middle to mesh, where you have to believe on your end, hey, God, here's what I believe you can do, right? Does that seem accurate to everyone? Based on scripture? Like when Jesus is healing people, there's people that he ended up not healing because they don't really believe it, or they don't believe he can do it. So it didn't happen. So Jesus, right? He didn't heal every single person that he went up to and was like, I can heal you. And they're like, as far as I understand, there are people that just did not believe. And they wouldn't experience it. So even just off that one aspect, there's a converging point that has to happen where God is able, but he also is leaving it up to you, which is kind of scary. For like healing, provision, for like just things happening in life. There's people that experience like financial poverty all their life. And it's like, if you ask them, they're more than likely believing that like it's not even possible for me to get wealthy, or they're not even open to it. On the other hand, you can have people who, they do see their lives transformed. And I'm not just saying we're talking about the aspect of money or just healing, but it's like seeing things actually blossom and bloom in their life. What I'm understanding is there's an aspect where you have to open the door within yourself to say, Lord, I accept that. It's like God's saying he can do all this stuff. Here's the umbrella, right, of God's promises. And underneath all these different things. And you're saying like, do I accept that? There's just a point where you have to make the choice, because God will not do it for you. And you have to maintain that. What does it mean to maintain that? Well, here's what I believe. The easier it is, the more knowledgeable you are with scripture, because the more familiarized you are with who God even is. So you could be very, very ignorant on who God even is because of not knowing, right? Something could happen and you would think, oh, this is definitely from God. Maybe you get a disease or you get cancer or something. And you're going to believe, well, this is from God. God's just making me have cancer, and it's not even from God, right? You could just fall into that trap because you're ignorant. You don't know anything, right? If you know God, though, if you know him, if you're accustomed to his personality, then it's going to be that much easier for you to say, well, no, this stuff over here that's happening is not right. That is not of God. So what's going on? What do you do with that? Well, you have to come over here and say, well, no, I don't accept that, Lord. I accept what you say over my life. So God leaves that up to us, which is kind of scary, because it's like you can bring the wrong stuff into your life, or you can bring the right stuff into your life. Let's get familiar with scripture, yo.